There has always seemed to be a clear split between the Manchester United fan base about Bruno Fernandes. He's either the man to lead the club through their new rebuild, or someone who needs to go as part of it. Yet there is one truth that no one admits when it comes to Bruno Fernandes. Signed all the way back in January 2020, Fernandes had an instant impact at Old Trafford, registering 11 goals and 8 assists in his first half season at the club, and his numbers since then have been phenomenal. Every season Fernandes has been consistent in terms of goals and assists, and now he's been able to lift silverware as the club captain after beating Manchester City in the FA Cup final, where he was absolutely phenomenal. Those who love Bruno Fernandes will always mention his work rate, his creativity, and his numbers since he joined the club have been extraordinary. No one in the Premier League can compete. He is at the very top of the creative statistics since he joined United. Then you also add his goal scoring impact, and it's clear to see why a lot of fans are telling Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe to build this future team around Bruno Fernandes. Yet there's another argument. There is a section of the fan base who don't think Bruno Fernandes is as good as the other section. Some would argue that the team has to be built around Bruno and that is a bad thing. They also say that Bruno can't play in a possession-dominant team. They think that the reason United have been such a counter-attacking and up-and-down team over the past few years is because their best player is Bruno Fernandes, who they think encapsulates that kind of game style. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably watching this video and you're shouting at the opinions of the other side. But there seems to be one truth in this matter, which I don't think either side really gets. Now, Bruno Fernandes is approaching his 5th season as a Manchester United player, and we've seen him link between the lines, providing a link up with Martial up front in his early days. We've seen him take control of games, roam around and play wingers through, be the main man. We've seen him play higher up, like in the FA Cup final, almost as a false 9, pressing the centre-backs, linking up play from that position. And we've also seen him sit deeper, help dictate games, like in moments during Ten Hag's first season. Ultimately, Bruno is doing the job that is asked upon him. The midfielder was often criticised for hero ball, trying to play the creative pass too often, but the truth is that this was his role in the team, and he has always done what the manager has asked him to do. He can operate in different roles in the midfield. Last season there was a handful of games where everyone was surprised because Bruno dropped deeper and he was playing more safe. He was doing the things that the people who criticise him wanted to see. And he's done all of this, all of these different roles, while being United's probably only consistent player across that time, while playing every game, every minute, and working relentlessly. And while some people like and some people dislike Bruno, they kind of have the same argument. Those who like him say, you've got to build the team around Bruno. He's our best player. He's the heartbeat of the team. Those who dislike Bruno and perhaps want him to be sold are saying the same thing. They just don't believe that he should be the heartbeat of the team. They think he has to be, and they just don't want that to be their Manchester United team. But ultimately, the team has been built around Bruno Fernandes because that's what the managers have thought is best. If Ineos managed to improve this team and bring better players in, bring a more possession-dominant style, Bruno has already shown that he can adapt to different roles. And there's no doubt in my mind that he would adapt into the certain role which is best for him in this next team. And of course, yes, you don't want to take the creative genius away from Bruno Fernandes, because like that pass in the FA Cup final shown us, you just can't get rid of that from a player. But he can definitely tone things down, tone things up when need be. And that's a sign of a really, really good player. Reliable reports have said that Bruno Fernandes will stay at the club, despite Ineos having their overhaul idea and a lot of players being at risk of being sold. And a lot of people will love that news, but some other people might not be completely behind it. Yet, like I said, Bruno isn't exactly the player that a lot of people think he is, and he's a lot more adaptable than people give him credit for.